Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country from the blue-collar professor. He teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of the program as we pivot from the conventions and head towards the general elections. And the conventions and this time of year, this process only comes around once every 4 years. That's why it takes up so much time of our program. But I feel like it's so important to highlight what's going on just because of the magnitude and the consequences of this election. We've talked about it exhaustively here on the Gavin Mitchell Show, where we've got a decision to make as citizens and as a country, which direction we want to go. And the conventions were the chance for both candidates to plant their flag and say, this is what we're about, to introduce themselves to people that may not be engaged in the political process, to people who may not have paid attention to the primary cycle. It's an opportunity to say, hey, here I am, and this is what I'm about. Now, there are a lot of people that didn't tune in every single day to every speech because they have lives. They've got to work. They've got kids to take here and there. They've got things to do. But I think a good majority of people tuned into the actual speech, or they're starting to listen. Now's the time where the other half, and when I say the other half, I would argue that about half this country was engaged in the primary season. They were following along. They were paying attention. Were they a Trump guy? Were they a Cruz guy? Were they a Hillary guy? Were they a Bernie guy or gal? You know, where did they stand on the issues? And they dug deep. But there was another half that didn't, that thinks a lot of this is nonsense. A lot of it is grown people acting like children. And I'll be honest, a lot of the time it seems like it is, doesn't it? It seems like they are grown people acting like children. Oh, I know you are, but what am I? And the lies and just all the back and forth that goes on. It does get nauseating at times, without question. But the RNC did what they needed to do. And it was Donald Trump's show from the beginning. And we said there were two goals. They needed to unite the party, and Donald Trump needed to look like a president. The party was united, a lot better than it was going in, even despite the start with the roll call vote and things of that nature. I think Ted Cruz actually did a lot to help the unity of the Republican Party, even though that may not have been his goal. He was out to pull a Reagan moment so that in 2020 he could walk in and win the nomination. But he didn't achieve that. He came out looking like somebody who wasn't willing to honor his word. Like there were situations that he was still mad about, and that seemed more important than the direction of this country. Even though he said, let me make it clear, I will never vote for Hillary, ever. We know who and what she is. I just don't think he helped his cause, but I think accidentally he may have helped the party's cause in uniting as we redefine what the Republican Party is. And then there was Donald Trump, and Donald Trump did what he needed to do, and his children helped him out a great deal. They painted this picture of a loving, caring, hardworking father who treats people with respect, and they came across as intelligent, as kind, caring, not entitled, and they did a great job. It was fantastic, the job they did. And then Donald Trump took the stage, and he did exactly what he needed to do. He didn't go out of his way to mention Hillary Clinton. He said, my opponent. And he said, these are the issues that face this country. And he knocked off about 99% of them. And this is what we need to do to solve it. He sounded like a president. And he stayed on point. He stayed on the teleprompter, which he had to do. And so I give Donald Trump an A+ for the RNC. But then this past week, we had the DNC. And this was Hillary's show. And it starts off with protests because of the emails that were leaked. We know that the DNC chair is going to resign after. She's going to have no part in the convention whatsoever. The Bernie protesters are fired up because the system really was rigged. Emails were leaked to prove the system was rigged, and they began marching through Philadelphia. There were 8-foot-high fences surrounding the convention center. There were fences surrounding the stage. There was no American flag to be found. She angered the police department in Philadelphia because she ran this Mothers of the Movement, the mothers of, quote, and I'm using air quotes here, of the victims that launched this Black Lives Matter movement, even though it's completely fictitious and none of it's true. The hands up, don't shoot, all of that nonsense, the Freddie Gray situation, none of it was right. After the facts were collected and the adjudication process ran its course, none of it was right. But she had the mothers of these people because why? She's after the African American voting bloc. It's that simple. That's all she cares about. And we detailed it in great length on Saturday night and through the week last week about how the Democrats truly feel about these minority voting blocs. They don't care about you. The LGBT community is starting to catch on. The African American community is starting to catch on. And there was an email that labeled Hispanics as a consumer group, not as a group of people that have feelings and lives and things of that nature. As a consumer that purchases something, that you convince them, you market to them, you appeal to them to get them to buy what you're selling. And what is the DNC selling? Their candidate. How do they buy it? With a vote. That's the currency. And so they don't care about these people. But they're happy to parade them out to get their vote. They're happy to say whatever they need to say to get the vote. But nowhere in the list of speakers were there police officers. Were there people who supported the other side of the issue? Because remember, if you ask the left, the whole goal here is unity and respect. Well, if that's the case, where's the other side? Why aren't you impartial to this situation? They're not. They're not even close. Now, I have it on good authority. Had Ms. Clinton, Secretary Clinton, invited the widows of the officers that fell in Dallas, they wouldn't have gone. They're the Republican type. They're not happy with this administration and the way they coddle this racist climate across the country. They're not happy at all. And so they wouldn't have gone, but there wasn't even an effort. It wasn't until after the backlash did American flags even show up in the convention center. There were none the first night. Not a single one to be found at a political event for President of the United States. There wasn't a single American flag found. American flags magically appeared day 2, and that fence that was in front of the stage went from a metal fence draped in blue cloths to a clear partition, as if we wouldn't have seen that. After the backlash about who was speaking, all of a sudden, Sheriff Lupe Lopez here in Dallas was invited to give a moment of silence. But that moment of silence was ambushed by the Black Lives Matter movement. They began screaming Black Lives Matter as they asked for a moment of silence to honor the fallen officers. It just goes to show that this movement, and this isn't all African Americans, but the people involved in this movement, race is the most important factor in their life. And I'll say it again the way I say it all the time. If we are going to end racism, we have to quit being racist. That includes affirmative action, because that's racist. It means that your race matters in the decision process. We've got to stop it from both sides. But then they found out there wasn't much electricity here. These Hollywood people, actors, comedians, so on and so forth, were falling flat on their face. Tim Kaine, the vice presidential nominee for Hillary Clinton, gets up there and starts speaking in Spanish. No one believes he's Hispanic. So you're fluent in Spanish. Congratulations. There's no need for that. It was an ignorant move on his part, and it was disrespectful is what it was. Bill Clinton gets up and speaks, and he used to be able to control a room. He would own it to every corner. Now he just sounds like an old senile man. And the crazy thing is, half the arena wasn't even full. They had to pay people to sit in the seats to make sure when the camera panned, it looked full. They were so concerned about it. If you go back and you watch Bill Clinton's speech, the camera didn't come off him once to take a shot of the audience. Not once. And they were passing out American flags during his speech, the same American flags that couldn't be found night one. I guess to underscore the fact that, yeah, we are patriotic, because that's what we need to be right now to get the votes we want. And then Chelsea Clinton gets up to introduce her mom, I guess to combat Ivanka Trump, and she swung and missed. She came out as stuck up, entitled, snobby, unempathetic. She got her mother's speaking skills. Her speech was so bad that it put her father to sleep. Literally put her father to sleep. He checked out. And then Hillary gets up there, no mention of the emails, no mention of the Clinton Foundation, no mention of ISIS. ISIS was barely mentioned throughout this entire convention. But Donald Trump was mentioned almost 500 times. And it's what the left does. Is it not? It's exactly what they do. Hey, we've got these facts. Tell me how we should interpret these. Tell me why y'all didn't blatantly railroad the whole primary process. We're looking at emails that said you did. Well, Donald Trump's a racist. Well, Ms. Clinton, what about the emails? You lied about those. You lied to the mother in Benghazi. Well, I didn't lie. They lied. And Donald Trump's a racist. It's always, I know you are, but what am I? Or you insult somebody to be worse than you, trying to deflect. And people are catching on to this. People are starting to notice. And if you think Hillary Clinton, if she doesn't have a drastic change, has a shot, she doesn't. I don't agree with what Donald Trump says and how he says it a lot of the time. But we know who and what Hillary Clinton is. And the irony is that this message the campaign is sending, it conflicts itself. She is the candidate of change. She's the most qualified candidate ever. And she's going to change and make things better. The economy's struggling. But when Barack Obama speaks, and she speaks of Barack Obama, he did such a great job. He created all these jobs for hardworking Americans, and we're going to continue these policies and push forward, and we can do better. This is just a start. So in one breath, she's talking about continuing Barack Obama's administration and the ideals thereof. And the next, she's talking about, well, it's not working. We need change. She doesn't even know what she stands for. She stands for whatever she needs to stand for at that time to the group of people she is speaking to. It's mind-blowing. And so both candidates pivoted. They started hitting the stump. And I've got a couple of events that we need to talk about. One, Mark Cuban has come out and opened his mouth. And the other, Donald Trump's Twitter is getting him in trouble again. We'll talk about it next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show. It's summertime again, ladies. Time to break out those sandals and give your toenails a little TLC. The nail technicians at Friendly Nails in Cleburne, Texas are ready to provide you with professional and friendly service. From manicures to pedicures and a variety of specialized services such as acrylic nails, facials, and waxing. Custom designs and a variety of stones to accent your nails are also available. The technicians at Friendly Nails are all licensed and trained in the latest technology and have experience applying every kind of polish on the market. So stop by and be treated like royalty. Relax in their massage chairs and unwind. Full body massage therapy is also available by appointment only. For all you guys wanting to give your special lady a little treat, $50 gift certificates are available now for $40, and anyone who mentions hearing about Friendly Nails on the Gavin Mitchell Show or KLIF will get $10 off any $50 purchase. Friendly Nails is open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 180 North Ridgeway Drive in Cleburne, Texas. Call them at 817-641-3400. Walk-ins are welcome.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-525-8479 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-525-8479 to take your call now. Call 1-800-525-8479. That's 1-800-525-8479. Again, 1-800-525-8479.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessories store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 6 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Visit us for sewing, embroidery, and t-shirt printing services. Airbrush services by our friends at Kingdom Custom Creations are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit twistedroadstradingpost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
If you are looking to connect with the program, you can find us on the World Wide Web, thegavinmitchellshow.com. We're on Twitter at The GM Show. Feel free to follow us, tweet along with us, whatever it takes, and then you're welcome to email me anytime, Gavin at thegavinmitchellshow.com. So the conventions are over, and it's time to move on to the general election. Well, with that comes a lot of things, but what's important here is that these candidates only have 2, 3, 4 opportunities that are landmarks between now and November at the time which people cast their votes. And those are the debates. And there are some issues there, and we'll get to that coming up. But as they hit the stump, they're starting to bring out some firepower. They're starting to hone in and do what they can to win these battleground states, because that's where this election's going to be decided. One of these battleground states is Pennsylvania. And so Hillary Clinton was there Saturday in Pittsburgh for a rally. And she decides to run out Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban. Now, let me tell you about Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban is not a native Texan. I think he's from Indiana, Illinois, something like that. The Midwest is where he's from. He's not a Texan, but he made billions in some technical company. He created something, sold it, and made billions, and then moved to Texas and bought the Dallas Mavericks. And that's how pretty much the majority of the world knows Mark Cuban, is that he's the Dallas Mavericks owner. Now, off the court, he does a lot of great things for the community. He writes a lot of checks. He doesn't make a lot of appearances. He doesn't, but he'll back some causes with his checkbook, and that's a great thing. But if you pay attention to Mark Cuban, he's got a loose mouth. He absolutely does. Pay attention to the way he runs his basketball team. The guy you see on Shark Tank, I don't know if that's the real Mark Cuban. I don't know if he's that reserved, and he's definitely, if not the most brash, the second most brash, next to that bald-headed loudmouth on that show. But the Mark Cuban we know here in Dallas is a Mark Cuban that gets on the microphone and criticizes the officials, that's happy to write checks to the league for suspensions and things like that. He's critical of everybody that runs that league, yet he owns a team. We've seen him run out on the floor while a game's going on to yell at a referee. He's always micromanaging that team. He's in the middle of everybody's business instead of letting people do their job, which it's your team. Do what you want to with it, I guess, but it just gives you an idea of who this guy is. He has absolutely zero credentials to, one, be speaking about politics, and two, to engage in politics. And I guess you could say the same thing about Donald Trump, but he's ran the course at this point. Donald Trump has made it through a very convoluted primary. 17 total candidates, and he's the one standing. He's the one with something to say. Now, when this whole deal started to focus on who the vice presidential nominees would be, do you remember this? Mark Cuban came out and said, yeah, I'd be both their vice presidential candidate if they asked me to. He had no affiliation. He just wanted the job title. He wanted to be vice president of the United States, and he saw his big brother Donald Trump out there. He's got some cash, and he's able to do it. Well, I got some cash. Why can't I? The problem is Mark Cuban has no wherewithal about reality. He doesn't know what's going on. And every time he opens his mouth, people just ask, is he serious? Is that really what this guy meant to say? Is that really what he believes? Mark Cuban, for all the good he does with his checkbook, he's a joke. He's just one of these guys who happened to develop something and came into a lot of money. And I'm not discrediting the hard work. I'm just saying it's not like he went and built a company with his hands from the ground up and watched it grow into this big and powerful thing. They hit the jackpot. They got what they needed, and then they sold. It took a couple, 3 years for him to become a billionaire. And so I don't know that he understands what it means to be a hardworking person. Not that he doesn't work hard, but where if the weather doesn't cooperate, you don't get to pay your light bill. I don't think he gets that notion. But for whatever reason, he was willing to be either presidential nominee's vice president. And he even said, Hillary Clinton, she's got to come back to the center for me. He didn't have any criticisms of Donald Trump at the time, but Hillary's policies were a little too far out there for him. Well, now that we're in the general election, he decided he was going to stand up at a Hillary Clinton convention, rally, whatever you want to call it, in Pittsburgh. And he said, quote, leadership is not yelling and screaming and intimidating. Let's stop there. If you've ever watched a Dallas Mavericks basketball game, you know these words are hollow from Mark Cuban, because that's all he does is yell and scream and try to intimidate officials. That's it. Nothing more. He continued, you know what we call a person like that? You know, the screamers and yellers, the person who tries to intimidate you. You know what we call a person like that in Pittsburgh? I'm glad he said Pittsburgh, because he doesn't get to speak for Texas because he's not a native Texan. He just lives here. He calls him a jerk-off. Is there any bigger jerk-off in the world than Donald Trump? That's Mark Cuban's response. And I'm glad he's out there for Hillary Clinton, because that has as much substance and depth as what liberals traditionally put out there. And what is that? Mark Cuban is a joke, and I couldn't be more disappointed in him and the fact that he even lives in the same area I do. He's a giant kid with apparently zero intellect behind him. He has learned business on the fly, and just because he's got a few bills to fold in his pocket, they think he's some type of business guru and can be on Shark Tank, because he understands how to extrapolate revenue trends and profit margins. And good for you. A freaking monkey could get that in 2 weeks. I've got no respect for that guy. I couldn't be more a jerk off. That's the best he could come up with. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is kind of in the middle of something of his own. If you paid attention to the Democratic Party, there was a gentleman named Chris Kahn who was up there with his wife, and his wife had on an hijab. I don't know if they're Muslim. Found out later, but I didn't know at the time if they were Muslim. And they had a son, an Army captain, that was killed in the line of duty. And so Hillary Clinton brought them out, right? 2 birds with 1 stone here. We can get the military and the Muslims. That's obviously the thinking, because in fact they are Muslim. She can get 2 birds with 1 stone right here. And so she runs them out there to talk about how they lost their son in combat 12 years ago, and it was a thing. But Chris Kahn, the father, decided he was going to take a play out of Hillary Clinton's playbook and take a shot at Trump. And he said that Trump had sacrificed nothing and no one for America. And I thought about that. I thought, that may be true. Donald Trump didn't fight in a war. He never served. None of his kids did. He didn't lose anybody to war or anything. So that might be true. The problem is, this is a party convention that involves politics. And when you dilute it down to the very basic ideal that we have here, we have one candidate versus the other. And that was an attack on one candidate. So the natural question is, what about the other one? Is that a fair statement to take a shot at Donald Trump, that he sacrificed nothing and no one for America? Well, you have to turn to Hillary Clinton, do you not? And I would ask the question to you, has Hillary Clinton sacrificed anything or anyone for America? Now, she's definitely sacrificed people, but for her, she didn't fight. Her husband didn't fight. Her kids didn't fight. In fact, I would argue Hillary Clinton is the most selfish, deceitful person I know of. Not that I know personally, that I know of. I cannot think of a more evil person, and that's the only way I can sum this up. Evil. If you lie and cheat and steal and con and deceive, what is that? That is evil. When you let Americans die to protect your political situation, that's evil. And so it's not, yes, it's accurate to one side, but man, hello pot, here's the kettle, I'm black, how are you doing? That's what this is. Now, Chris Kahn can speak because he lost his son to terrorists 12 years ago, but that same criticism can be pointed directly at Hillary. And it's that nonsense I'm talking about, because there's an implication there that Hillary Clinton has sacrificed and has lost someone, and she hasn't. If anything, she's cost more American lives. Well, Donald Trump can't leave it alone. He gets on the ABC interview with Snuffleupagus, I think. And he said, what about this guy's wife, Khan's wife? She had nothing to say. Well, maybe she wasn't allowed to say anything. You tell me. And it's Donald Trump poking fun at him, because we know that in the Muslim culture, women aren't allowed to do things unless their husband gives them permission. It's that simple. And that is watered down, but it's that simple. Well, Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan decided they should be able to speak on this. And they didn't criticize Trump directly, but they went after his travel ban on these people from terrorist countries. Right? It started out as any Muslim can't come in, but now it's if you're from a region that terrorism is known to grow from, you're not getting to come into this country until we sort it out. That's where he's at. And so they come out and they start criticizing his immigration policy. McConnell said, as I have long made clear, I agree with the Khans and families across the country that a travel ban on all members of religion is simply contrary to American values. Ryan says, I reject it. Many Muslim Americans have served valiantly in our military and made the ultimate sacrifice. Captain Khan was one such brave example. Talking about the religious test for people entering the country not being reflective of our, quote, fundamental values. That's how they pivoted. They didn't criticize Donald Trump for what he said. And Trump's like, hey, what am I supposed to do? I was viciously attacked by Mr. Khan at the DNC. Am I not allowed to respond? Hillary voted for the Iraq war, not me. And it goes on and on, back and forth, and now the backlash. But this is what the left does. I can't underscore that enough. Hillary Clinton puts people's lives in danger with the policy she makes, and Donald Trump gets attacked, and he responds, and now he's the bad guy. He's the bigot. He's the racist. He's all the things that they reach into their bag for the Trump card, no pun intended, to end the discussion, because people don't like being called racist and bigoted. They're bad words. But it's losing its appeal. You can only cry wolf so many times. And so here we go again. But Donald Trump has promised us the nice guy act is done. He's going after Hillary. And Hillary can't run forever. It's been like 250 days since she's given a press conference. Yes, she's taken the one-on-one interviews, but why do you take one-on-one interviews instead of press conferences? There's nothing impromptu. All the questions have to be cleared ahead of time. A press conference, anybody can ask anything. And so her campaign is keeping her shielded from that. She's at her events, her rallies, and she does one-on-one interviews where they can police the questions. They're trying to hide Hillary Clinton from the media. And this is a media that works for the left. That's the part I can't get over. This is a media that works for them, and apparently they think it's so bad they have to hide her from their own media. Imagine that. Well, interviews aren't the only way the Clinton campaign is trying to hide Hillary Clinton. There's another. Let's talk about it next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you were doing fine. Then, all of a sudden, you're having a tough time paying your family's credit card bills. Maybe you were downsized or even lost a job, but you still owe 10 grand or more in credit card bills, and you just can't afford the minimum payments anymore. We're here to help. We are the Genesis Debt Partners. We know the secrets to negotiate better terms with your creditors. Make a free 10-minute call right now and learn how we can help you get out of debt. 800-807-9767. If you owe 10 grand or more in credit card debt and you want to learn how you can pay less and get out of debt faster, call right now. 800-807-9767. 800-807-9767. Get out of debt now. 800-807-9767.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls? Start saving thousands in interest and fees and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-824-3301. 800-824-3301. That's 800-824-3301. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
If you were looking for the show throughout the week, you can find us each and every weekday, 5 p.m. Central on Red Nation Rising Radio. That's rednationrising.us, 5 p.m. Central, and that is powered by conservativeradionetwork.com. We are on K98 Talk, the 405 Media, High Plains Radio, Sackheads Radio, StreamingTalkRadio.com, and IPBN-FM.com. Those are all the places you can find our show playing at specific times. Visit those sites, find out exactly when we play, and make sure you tune in. If you're looking for the show on demand, iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and Google Play. And then right now, this is something I need to talk to you about. We are in conversations with KLIF about opportunities and which way to go. And you've heard us hint, when I say us, I mean Matlock and myself, about a new offering coming out. And we're trying to decide if the old school or the new school way is the way to go to expand our brand and our show and our offerings. Do we want to continue pounding away on the weekends on KLIF here in Dallas, or do we want to take that time and invest it in more options to grow our share with you, the listener? And so we're talking through that. We're having meetings. We'll be able to tell you more as the week goes on. But just know that is coming one way or the other, whether everything stays the same, whether things change. We've got some other things working. And then do not forget, Matt Locke and I get together for 2 hours every week. We roll up our sleeves, no notes, no script, just two guys talking politics as if we would in the coffee shop. And we call that show The Conservative Cartel. So be sure to find that as it is out there on Spreaker. So we heard a lot of talk, and we saw a lot of it through the primary season of the left's debates going on during big events, during football games, during the Final Four, during just anything they could do to hide Hillary Clinton. They did it. And it was no accident. Make no mistake about it. They didn't want people watching. They didn't want Hillary Clinton exposed for who and what she was. They wanted to hide her. And so they would schedule these debates opposite of a big event, whether it was a football game, the Final Four. There were a bunch of other things. The night of Halloween, I think, was one of them. Don't hold me to that, but you get the point. And this is a trick a lot of people use. The Obama administration uses this to release emails and other Freedom of Information Act requests when they're fulfilled. They'll be released on, like I remember this past year, they were released on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, certain days like that, so they hope it gets lost in the news cycle and nobody speaks about it. That's exactly what the left is trying to do with Hillary Clinton, because during these debates, she's going to get exposed. She's going to refuse to answer questions. She's going to play politician, and Donald Trump's going to punch her right in the mouth, figuratively. He's not going to let her get away with it, and she knows it. They don't know how to handle Donald Trump. And so they're trying to hide her. That's why she doesn't do press conferences. That's why these debates are hidden. And why do I say that? Here came the new schedule for the presidential debates. And it's set up by the Commission on Presidential Debates. And they have scheduled 2 of the 3 debates opposite NFL football games. One's against a Thursday night game and one's against a Sunday night game. And Trump's saying, hey, what is going on? This isn't cool. The NFL doesn't want that. I don't want that. What is going on? Well, this Commission on Presidential Debates is supposed to be nonpartisan, right? They're supposed to be on, just the way the DNC is supposed to be during a primary competition. But they said, nah, you know what? No campaign or party was consulted. The dates were selected last year. Yeah, but during football season, there is going to be a Thursday night game and a Sunday night game. There's no secret to that. Trump said, I don't know how the dates were picked. I don't know why those particular dates. It's because they're trying to hide Hillary Clinton. Trump told ABC, Hillary Clinton wants to be against the NFL. She doesn't. Maybe like she did it with Bernie Sanders, where they were on Saturday nights when nobody's home. That's exactly it. That is 110% it. Now, Trump's claiming the NFL wrote a letter, the NFL saying, oh, that's not true, whatever. But this entity that schedules these debates and sets the rules for who can participate and who can't, they're responsible. What are the chances that that's just coincidence? What are the chances that it just slipped their mind that there would be NFL football games on Thursday night and on Sunday night at the end of September, early October? I find it highly, highly unlikely. Don't you? I mean, it's Hillary Clinton running from the spotlight. The VA has decided to spend some money. You would think it's a good thing given all the troubles they have, but it's not. Next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
You hear the headlines. You know health insurance is a real mess right now. Premiums have skyrocketed, and in most cases, you're stuck with your plan until open enrollment. But there's a government rule that allows you to qualify for lower health insurance rates if your life has changed. That means if you've changed jobs, if you're having a child, if you're getting married, if you're getting divorced, even if you run a small business or you're self-employed, this law may qualify you to get lower health insurance rates. Call the Health Insurance Hotline today. Learn how this 10-minute call can help you get lower health insurance rates. This is a free service to help consumers learn the laws to help them qualify for lower health insurance rates. So call right now to learn more. 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501.
Hey folks, Gavin Mitchell here. If you're in the market for a new car or truck, Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford has been family owned and operated for nearly 50 years, and my family has done business with Jerry for 25 of those. Jerry's proudly built a reputation of working hard to provide their customers with great service and exceptional value. Jerry Chevrolet has hundreds of new trucks in stock, and they are always marked with the absolute lowest price. Come test drive the Chevy Silverado or the Colorado today and get yourself a $25 prepaid Visa gift card for doing it. When you go online at jerrychevytexas.com, Jerry will offer you a $25 prepaid Visa gift card just for stopping in. No purchase necessary. It's as easy as that. If you have a trade-in, Jerry Chevrolet is always looking for quality used cars, and you can go to jerrychevytexas.com today and find out what your vehicle is worth. Find new roads at Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford and at jerrychevytexas.com. Come out our way and trade your way. Tell them Gavin sent you.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309, 800-398-8309, 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Hey everybody, Gavin Mitchell from The Gavin Mitchell Show here. Of course you can find our show every week on our flagship station, News and Information, 570 AM KLIF, but sometimes once a week just isn't enough. I would encourage you to go out to our website, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com, and there you'll find a plethora of information about the show, including archived episodes of our daily podcast. You'll find a blog written by me and other conservative writers, and entertaining videos that are available with the Gavin Mitchell Experience. I would encourage you to follow us on Twitter at The GM Show. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. And of course, we are on our flagship station for the internet, conservativeradionetwork.com, with the most talented conservative podcasters in the country. So be sure to tune in Saturdays at 8 p.m. right here on News and Information 570 AM KLIF, or through the week at conservativeradionetwork.com or www.thegavinmitchellshow.com.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
I honestly don't know why it is so hard for us to get this right. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, progressive, conservative, whatever. I don't care. This issue is bigger than that. Why is it so hard for us to get the VA right? I had a professor in my undergraduate work. He had several sayings, but one of them was the government couldn't organize a good game of jacks. He's right. He's right. And I don't mean to offend anybody that works in government out there, but you've heard me say it before. The government doesn't get the best and brightest. The best and brightest go off to high-paying jobs in their field. the government gets what's left because they can't afford private sector salaries. They can't compete. It's not there. It's not in the budget. And so people who value security in their job more than they value economic prosperity, say, that's who you get with the government. I don't understand why it's so hard for us to get this right. If we were going to spend money anywhere, why would it not be the military and then the VA? Why would those not be number 1 and 1A? These people have put their lives on the line, have put their lives on hold, willing to die for this country. And they go over there and they pick up a gun and they put on their helmet and they do what they got to do to make sure we're safe. And America still stands for something. They don't make much money. They do it because they love the country. And maybe back home they have a wife, kids, mother, father that are wondering, is today the day that they lose their loved one? Is today that day? You have people that come back that watch their friends get blown up and shot and killed and whatever else goes on in war. It is hell, literally hell on earth. But they do it gladly because this country means something to them. But when they come back, they get shunned. And I'm so tired of seeing articles like this. I'm looking on Breitbart. The VA blew through at least $20 million during this past decade when there were veterans who were standing in line for health care, died while they were in line, when mold was growing in these facilities, when people couldn't get health care appointments. $20 million was blown. What could they possibly have spent $20 million on? Well, $21,500 of it went to a 27-foot artificial Christmas tree. $670,000 for two sculptures that went to a VA facility in California that serves blind veterans. Sculptures at an institution that serves blind veterans. I'm not trying to be funny, but what a waste of money. Some of the others. $483,000 for a large decorative rock. $807,000 for the site preparation for the rock. So to place this giant decorative rock, it cost over $1.2 million. $330,000 for a half arc in a mental health clinic. $365,000 for a sculpture to the entrance of a pool. And in my opinion, the best one yet, $285,000 for a wall of dozens of rocks that light up to spell out quotes from Abraham Lincoln and Eleanor Roosevelt. Wait for it. In Morse code. A VA facility in Puerto Rico spent $610,000 on artwork. Are you kidding me? This is real. This is how we treat our soldiers, the people that defend this country. And this is over the last decade. So this goes back into the Bush administration as well. Make no mistake about it. This has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican, even though the majority of this time is credited to Barack Obama. This is bureaucracy working. This is how the government runs things. And if you think socialism's the answer where the government controls everything, all you got to do is look at the VA. Our heroes are dying. And that word's thrown around so much these days. Hero this, hero that. It's a bunch of crap. Those that serve this country are heroes. And they go and do what they are supposed to do. They hold up their end of the deal. And when they come back, the government doesn't hold up their end of the deal. And there were literally people dying while they were waiting in line for health care. The health care that they earned. You want to talk about entitlements? This is an entitlement I agree with because it's part of the original deal. When you come back, we'll take care of you. If you have PTSD, you have PTSD because you were serving this country. If you have wounds, if you were hurt, we'll take care of you. But they're not taking care of anyone. But they sure are buying rocks, aren't they? Rocks. Good Lord. Folks, that's going to do it for today. In the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. For the great Ron Phillips, I'm Gavin Mitchell. This has been a Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show, the Blue Collar Professor, produced in Fort Worth, Texas. If you like what you just heard, subscribe on iTunes and Spreaker.com. These and other links can be found on our website at thegavinmitchellshow.com. Be sure to tell your friends and colleagues about the Blue Collar Professor's daily podcast. Join us again next time as we take the liberals to school. All opinions expressed by the host or guests on this series are solely their opinions and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of the Gavin Mitchell Show or its affiliates. This has been a Ron Phillips Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production.